Okay, this will be an update for version 5.7. Under the project screen, if you look down at the bottom, it tells you the version number. Okay, now let me first explain what I'm up to here. I created a foreign files folder, and that has all of the sample files from Weavepoint and Fiberworks. There's about 97 of those. And what I then did, let me look in the copy directory here, which I'm actually going to use. I've got blocks of 1,000 files each. In each one of those is a subdirectory with the entire suite. So with 11 of those, if I go back and do a file manager review, properties on that, it's going to tell me it's got about 10,000 files. Now I'm running on a Windows 10 machine. It's probably 15 years old, so it gives you a frame of reference for performance. So I've got 10,000 files in that composite directory. You'll notice I've got the original copy of that, and I've got a working copy. The tool I've created will look through, find all the DTX and WPO files. If the WIF file does not exist, it creates it. That says if you work in the same directory, and the file, if you run it twice, it's not going to do anything because the files already exist. The downside of that is it's a relatively new tool, and if I miss something that DTX parses, it makes it a real pain to eliminate 10,000 copies of a WIF file. So certainly for the interim, I would suggest keep your master file wherever that's stored and work out of a copy of it. Okay, now let me talk about how it actually does anything. So once I'm in Quickdraw, first thing I need to know is a context for the directory. Okay, I'm going to open the foreign files directory, and if I look at it, all that's going to show is the directories, because I'm not still looking for WIF files. If I ask for non-WIF files, I'm going to now notice that I have 2 DTX files that I've deliberately left there so I can open a context. And I'll go back to those later on. You'll notice that's all that's in those is those two. Let me open the advancing diamond just because I've been using that for a test case. And you'll notice if I zoom out with my mouse here that I've got a pattern that looks pretty much like it, and I'll go back to that in a while. Now, in order to convert files, if I go into the view and ask for the view within directory, it actually gives me all the weaving files in the directory. And it's going to go through. Right now, it's opening all the WIF files. You know, it only. Okay, now if I want to actually convert all of those 10,000 files, when I hit the Convert to WIF button, the interface is kind of ugly because it sits there for a while. If you do this on an old machine, it's going to take you a month and a half. Right now, I start praying it's not going to hang up. Still praying. When I did this on my Windows 11 laptop, it took it about 11 seconds, as well as on the newer Windows 10 machine. Okay, I normally don't edit these videos for time, but that took longer and you're going to want to sit there. But the good news, it did not crash, and in the process created one whole lot of WIF files. Let me go back to the directory structure. When I'm looking in the foreign test copy I was just working in, if I do properties on the file I started with, I've got the 10,000 files. When I go to the copy, there's 20,000 WIF files. So obviously it did something. And I apologize for that interface. I'll get back to that at some time when I have the chance. If I go into Fiberworks, do a split screen, and if I go into Fiberworks, open the original DTX file, I think it's this one, and I convert that to the new WIF file that I just created. Pattern looks pretty much the same, the tie-up structures, so first validation, that seems to work. The lift plans seem to be alive. And so where we are for baseline, that starts out the conversion process. Thank you.